As America was preparing to celebrate the Statue of Liberty centennial, 500 college students representing every state in the Union were converging on William Patterson College in Wayne, New Jersey. These students were to become part of the greatest marching band the world had ever seen, the Statue of Liberty All-American Marching Band. Days before the first band members arrived, Whiteman Field had to be prepared with a series of intricate dots so that the complex drill patterns could be learned more easily. Mark Shoemate supervised this huge task.
I did a marking system for fields for the 1984 Olympics. Not only the main field at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, but the rehearsal fields in Los Angeles as well. As you can see behind me, there's a crew working back here. What we do first is run some center lines with string down both directions of the field and get a cross reference. We then set up additional string patterns at every 10 yards, so we have now like a giant sheet of graph paper on the field. At the crosshairs of these strings, we can then go ahead and paint marks, which are labeled alphanumerically. And with that, all the performers can find their positions on the field at any time, and the band can make the intricate patterns that it makes.
The proximity of the practice field to the dormitories was one of the key factors in choosing William Patterson College as the band's training camp. Project Director Jeffrey Ernstoff explains.
I came out here and met with Joe Tanis and Bill Dickerson, and one of the most attractive things about the school was the proximity of the field to the dormitory and the student center and so on. It's a very nice contained unit. It's nestled in these little hills, probably cooler because it's elevated than some of the other places, and that again is a factor. It's also pretty accessible to the Meadowlands. So then we entered a period of contract negotiations where we were looking for a simple way to do it, to come up with a rate and a contract which would be easy to manage and so on, kind of things that go into it. Okay, the flexibility in the meal schedule, where are they going to sleep, how is the staff going to be accommodated, should the staff be near the kids, should the staff be up on the hill away from the kids, are we going to have breakfast and lunch and dinner in 2 shifts? What do we do with rain locations? If it rains and we've got a marching band, which obviously is used to going outside, do we split the marching band in half and have half the kids in the student center and half the kids in the rec center? Do we combine the euphoniums with the other lower brass to be able to have more efficient sectional rehearsals? And these are all things that we work very closely with the college staff, Joe Tanis and Bill Dickerson, to pull off.
Dr. Arthur C. Bartner, the band director at USC, was chosen to direct the band. Shortly after he arrived, the assistant directors and teaching assistants joined him. In their first staff meeting, Dr. Bartner went over what promised to be a grueling schedule.
The first segment is just, memorizing these charts, taking a look at the scores. The assistant directors will get scores. The rest of you will get parts matching to what section you have. If Tammy has piccolos, you'll get all the piccolo charts and so on. The next sequence is what I call the biggie 6 days. This is where we have to learn our stuff. These are the 8:30 to 10 o'clock at night. These are the killers. I think with the Olympics we had 5 days. On this one we have 6, and this is where we have to learn. We have to learn the whole show. And I'll go through this thing, and there's some music that they haven't even received yet, so if they don't have the show memorized, you're going to lay on about 3 or 4 more charts on them. So if they haven't memorized their music, then they're really going to be scuffling. So from the 21st to the 26th are big days, and then the night of the 26th, I've invited some high school bands and some band directors in the area to come out, and we'll do a show for them at night, and see where, kind of put a little pressure on them that night. Then, starting, the 27th is the first time we go into the Meadowlands. The 28th and the 29th is when we can, when there is a chance to lighten up on the schedule and give them some free time. I guess the climax of that first week is the night of the 26th, and then the 27th, where we actually go into Meadowlands the first time, and that'll be a real hype because it'll be the first time that we'll perform in the actual arena. Then the 28th and 29th are kind of lighter days when we'll review. Then the 1st starts the big push, and there there's some days where we go to Governor's Island and we have an 8 o'clock at night call, which goes to 10, 11, 12, which means by the time you get the kids off the island, now remember, this is an island, so you gotta, first the problem is to get to New York, then the problem is to get on a ferry boat, then you're on the island, then you gotta reverse it. So by the time you get back, I'm afraid we're talking 2, 3 in the morning, and then we have a 9 o'clock call in the Meadowlands. Right now, the fanfare trumpets open the opening ceremonies. They're involved. John Williams has written a 1-minute fanfare with orchestral accompaniment. And so the trumpets play that. Then there's a salute to liberty, welcome to liberty, something like that. And then the fanfare trumpets are again involved in that. All the different type of flourishes. The 4th is, we're not involved in anything during the day. They have the Tall Ships Parade. I think the Coast Guard Band is playing for that, if I'm correct. I think all the military bands are involved in one way or another. But we as a full band are not involved. Again, the fanfare trumpets are involved, and I was thinking of changing that to not only using fanfare trumpets, or maybe just taking half the fanfare trumpets and then adding the 40 mellophones and adding the 24 euphoniums. Because this is the only evening that John Williams is going to do all 4.5 minutes of his piece. And this is the Boston Pops. Now, I'm not sure you remember the whole thing. The Boston Pops is the night of the 4th. It's at Liberty State Park. So I was thinking of getting a different look and a different sound in this fanfare group. You know, one of my things all along was I felt it was very important for the band to be there to see this fireworks show, because it's really going to be a hype. And so in order to get the whole band there, we gotta work the fanfare trumpets, we gotta work the drummers, and then all these kids just show up and pull up a blanket or whatever kids do, and we'll be on the New Jersey side.
The ADs and teaching assistants had to learn all the music and drills so they could teach them to the squad leaders who would arrive a few days later. The squad leaders would, in turn, teach the material to the rest of the members of the band who would arrive on June 20th. The 20th saw the campus vibrate with a flurry of activity. TAs shuttled band members from area airports back to campus, where they would be checked in and given room assignments in the dormitories. Dr. Bartner had decided that no two students from the same school should room together, ensuring that new friendships would be formed from coast to coast.
I've just been taking some time around here practicing my music, trying to get it memorized because of, getting ready with all the new people that haven't been here with the squad leaders for the last few days. We want to stay ahead of everybody else, but also we want to have the edge on them so we can be able to teach them all the things we've learned up to now.
Our roommate's from UCLA, and he's telling me about the West, and a couple buddies I'm hanging around with are from the University of Penn, and since I'm from Penn State, people keep getting us mixed up all the time, and it's neat to meet all the different people from all around. I just met a guy from New Mexico, and you meet people from Colorado, and it's different seeing the way people live different on the different coasts and like that.
Been getting a lot of newsletters about every week, every couple of weeks, telling us what we're going to be doing, what to expect, what to bring. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Played golf last night. Our friends from school brought a little golf course and put little cows and flamingos up, and we played golf.
Where?
Right here in the lounge.
I'm really excited about it. I'm glad I can be a part of this. It's just like a really historical thing. It's like the 100th anniversary will never come again, and it's 200 years to the next, the bicentennial of it, or 100 years to that. And I'm just really glad I can be in it.
It's about America, and it's a real patriotic thing. I'm real patriotic, and it gets to the whole heart.
Once the entire group had arrived, it was time for the official orientation. Spirits were at a fever pitch as project manager and host Jeff Ernstoff stepped to the podium. Formerly the production coordinator for the orchestra and famous Rhapsody in Blue number at the Olympic ceremonies in Los Angeles, Ernstorff had labored for over 10 months to bring the Statue of Liberty Band from vision to reality. Ernstorff worked hand in hand with Dr. Bartner, Tommy Walker, David Wolper, and scores of Liberty Weekend staff. His effort had involved 4 separate production teams: logistics, music, and staging, instruments, housing, travel, and most important, the spirit of the band itself. The ultimate goal from the outset was to provide the band members with an opportunity to combine pride, performance, and camaraderie, with William Patterson College and Joe Tanis playing a pivotal role.
Right now, I'd like to present to you, to give you an official welcome to William Patterson College, Vice President Peter Spiridon.
Practice hard, do well, make us all proud. Make this an event that we will all treasure. In closing, I'd like to advise you that on Monday, my staff is going to get each of you a hat to at least express our feeling for the efforts that you're making and celebrating this event.
I just want to talk a little bit about the band, and we've seen a film here that very clearly illustrates what the statue represents, but I want to amplify something that Peter said, and that is what you represent and what you've represented all along. As I said in my last letter to you, you are in fact the generations of those who came before, and it struck me as I encountered your names in every conceivable kind of list what exactly you do represent. Names like Fraunhofer, De Sabatino, Udvanek, Valenzuela, Rubinstein, Shapakaran, Suzuki. So, you are the melting pot band. You are the rainbow band, and I want to just emphasize that you will find the entire nation will take pride in your excellence if you choose to deliver it. I want to let you know a couple of the interesting things that happened in the formation of the band. One was an application from a guy at a New England school, currently enrolled, age 61 years, who wanted to be in this band. We had letters from applicants. We had over 1,000 applicants who had been orphanages and so on, begging to do anything that they could to be in the band. To carry water, to be assistants, you name it. So I hope that you understand that our congratulations to you on your acceptance is indeed heartfelt and does represent a very, very selective, stratified process, and you should all feel very good about your presence here. You represent over 1,000 applications from 100 schools, 2,100 hours of planning, a ton and a half of paper to date, 13 buses, 2 trucks, 2 vans, 6 cars, 36,000 meals.
Ernstorff then introduced the producer of the closing ceremonies, whose many Emmys included those for the Kennedy Center Honors and Baryshnikov Specials.
He is someone that you don't feel you work for, he's someone you work with. So I'd like you to please welcome our producer of closing ceremonies, Don Misher.
Telling me what kind of spirit you had, and now I feel it. It's wonderful. I want to thank you all for coming. I hear this is the best band ever assembled.
In this room, in my opinion, we have the very best in the collegiate, in the youth of America, if you will. You know, you're from all 50 states. You're the very best from the best collegiate marching band programs in the country. And for me, it is a thrill to work with you. And, you know, every day I live with my marching band back at USC, but I look forward to this because I can feel the energy, I can feel the enthusiasm. You know, we are here for a purpose. We are here together for 17 days. That's all you get. After 17 days, you know, this group does not exist anymore. So we have the best in the room. We have not yet proven that we are the best marching band that has ever existed in the history of the universe. You're the ones. You're the ones that have to do that. It is the individual responsibility. And, you know, when Mike calls you to attention, you know, that's when you have to be counted. In other words, nobody's going to come by and hit you on the head. Nobody's going to yell at you. You yourself have to take care of your individual responsibility. And that's the only way a band of this size works. That is, if each individual does his homework, memorizes his music, knows his drills, knows his charts, so on and so forth. It's all attitude from each individual member. And in this band, there is no dead weight. You can go to any college band in the country, and you'll find, you know, those eager beaver, aggressive, intense people, and then you find, the middle of the road, and then you find, you know, the guys are there because, you know, they're on scholarship. Their moms made them join the band, you know, all those things. But in this room, we only have that class A, you know, those overachievers, intense, aggressive, band animals. Second point, that I am a believer in the marching band tradition. I think marching bands in the United States are unique, right? From all over the world, this is something that happens in the United States. The bands all over the world, like the band you will see from France, that's a military band. But the collegiate marching band that goes out and supports its football team and does pageantry and designs and so on, this is uniquely American. And the thing that bothers me, and it's got to bother you, and if it doesn't bother you, I know it bothers your band director, that it comes Saturday afternoon and you're playing, you know, a top team, and it's nationally televised, regionally televised, whatever, and you know what happens at halftime. Okay? Commercial, some old retired coach is trying to figure out why the guy fumbled the ball on the 5-yard line. A real intelligent thing. Then they finally show the band, but that's in the background, and they're running scores, and they're saying what's happening on the East Coast. Where is the great band tradition? It's dying out. It is our job. It is our job to show not only the citizens of the United States, but the world, that marching bands are alive and well and, you know, succeeding. Now, Don Fisher, you know, the man that just spoke, you know, he is the producer of the show. Jeffrey and I have brainwashed this man. We have sat down, we have gone over the entire show with him and his staff. We have showed him every drill. We have picked out the shot. Limb shot, end zone shot, mid shot, close up, dance with you. And you will get the greatest TV coverage that any band has ever gotten. And you guys, I mean, the responsibility is on your shoulders because you have to be the very best.
After orientation, the drumline was allowed to check out their equipment. Almost all of the instruments used by the band were donated by Yamaha Corporation.
I'm here as a liaison from Yamaha in the United States to participate with the Statue of Liberty Band and take care of all the equipment which we have supplied to the band through the gracious efforts of our company and the cooperation of the Liberty Committee. We have something like $250,000 worth of equipment here for the youngsters to use, and we go a rather rigorous session with them so that they understand that although it's being given to them for the use during the program, it's very important that they take care of it and take care of it properly.
Jeff Ernstoff comments on the success and importance of the Yamaha contribution.
It would be hard to overstate the value of Yamaha's participation. I mean, their staff were incredible, from Bud DeFleury to Jack Foss, Mike Bennett, Jay Wanamaker, and many, many others. The instruments sounded great, they looked great, and they really gave the band a very, very special vibrance for the entire operation. And most important, I think, the professionalism of the Yamaha staff was really transmitted through to the kids. In fact, we had over 350 instruments distributed, and every single instrument came back completely intact. And I think that was because a sense of pride was instilled by Yamaha by donating these instruments for their use, and the kids sensed it and they reciprocated.
The next 6 days proved to be exhausting. Breakfast in Wayne Hall was scheduled between 6:45 and 8 every morning. Cold cereal proved to be the favorite. It was fast, easy, and identifiable. Fundamentals started each day. Designed to increase self-discipline and esteem, Mike Zapanta led fundamentals and explains why they were so important.
We have been doing marching fundamentals this morning and the last couple mornings, and the next couple weeks we're going to do fundamentals each morning. What we do in marching fundamentals is we go through the marching program and break down the forward movement and the turns, the left turns and the right turns, the turns that go 180 degrees. We just break the whole thing down, and so we can develop a uniform style. Because right now what we have is a collective group from different schools across the nation, and what we need to do is create a uniform style out here. So we have some kids that do turns a little bit different than other kids, and we need to bring them together and make sure that they adhere to the style that we're using out here this morning. As well as, we're not just working in terms of the technical or the physical things about style and marching fundamentals, but we're really trying to create is a cohesive group that really thinks together, that has a lot of pride together. So the marching program in the morning is more than just turns. It's really a way of bringing the group together.
Jeff Ernstoff talks about some unforeseen developments behind the scenes.
While the band was running through fundamentals on the field, one of its players had broken out with a whopping case of chicken pox. I discovered that 1/3 of the band had never had chicken pox, and we were a little bit panicked there for a while. Chicken pox normally takes about 10 days to incubate, which would have given us an outbreak on the actual night of closing ceremonies. But amazingly, no one else got infected. We flew the kid home and then brought him back for the closing ceremonies, and everything worked out well.
Mark time here. 4 count, turn to the right. Ready, 2. This time when I give a 4 count, turn to the left or turn to the right, I want the horn to come up in 4 count slowly. 4 count, turn to the left. Ready, 2, and 1, 2, 3, hit. Nice, nice. Going to the right.
All 4 counts.
4 count, turn to the right. Ready, move, and 1, 2, 3, hit. No horn manual right now. No horn manual. Mark, time, put, and. Those again. What time? 3, 4. And toes. Come on, let me see it. Let me see how bad you are, if you really are bad.
We're going to crab walk this one. With careful planning, Joe Tanis and the college staff were able to keep the band functioning smoothly. In the heat, water, medical equipment, and flexibility were invaluable to the total picture. At noon, the band trudged back up to Wayne Hall for lunch. Ice cream and gallons of soft drinks were the favorites. 2 o'clock. Back on the field with Dr. Bartner, and time to learn the drills. The 10-minute showbiz medley was learned one piece at a time, each song originating a new and spectacular pattern.
I don't know, I don't think you can do it. But maybe prove me wrong. Every note. Stand, set, hut. Stand, right, face. Okay, slide it back forward, please. Thank you. Good luck. Opening segment. Mark time, 4.
But surely the show was coming together. Music, patterns, discipline, and spirit. What had begun as dots on paper was taking shape before their eyes and under their feet, and they could sense their progress.
Give yourself a big hand, yeah! And for the first time, it's really cooking.
Once badly needed energy was replaced at dinner, the band met in its respective sections to learn new music and hone their techniques. Barry Spanier, TA for the clarinets, explains the goals of the sectional.
In the sectionals, what I've tried to do the first couple of days is get a group sound. It's very important that within a section that you unify the sound that a section has. That you have players from all over the country that play different styles. Some are more rock musicians, some are jazz, some are classical. And to get a good sound on the field, you have to try to unify that into one solid sound.
Because of the varied styles of the members, Assistant Director Lee Carlson worked with the Silks on their routines 12 to 15 hours a day.
We have some problems inherent within the group because of the diversity of styles from all the different schools. We have 4 universities represented and then a lot of independent kids, and we've got to meld the style so that it's all the same. Moving the flag around can be done in as many styles as you could possibly conceive. And what we have to do here is meld it in so that they do one style, that the basics are all done the same, the flag is turned at the same speed, and the checkpoints are the same. So that's the biggest problem we've got right now. And then teaching the work, it's an incredible amount of work in a very short time. It's a 10-minute show, and we don't have a lot of time to put it together, so we have to really push. We'll be rehearsing at least 12 to 14 hours a day until the day of the performance. The way we break it down is we have 2 section leaders. One is in charge of the drill, one is in charge of the flag work. And then each section is broken down into squads, and the squads consist of 8 girls with a squad leader who is also 2 squad leaders, one responsible for drill, one responsible for work. We break it down, we teach as a unit, and then we break it down, and each of the girls that are out working a unit right now are responsible for that. At this point, we're working flag work, so they're responsible to make sure that all the flag work is done correctly and done the same.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Cut. Again. Old habits die hard, and I appreciate that. Remember, this isn't our spin, okay? 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, please. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1.
While the band worked through fundamentals one morning, Dr. Bartner and some of the staff worked on creating the dance routine. Dance mania soon spread, and small dance groups sprung up all over campus.
Everybody to the right.
Right flank, cut, and move.
Touch, step, touch,
Right flank, cut, and move. Cover, adjust, cover and adjust, cover and adjust.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Turn, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Straight, cut, step. Back, front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn, bow, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I fell, 7, 8, 1, back, back.
Also during those first 6 days, all of the band members had to be fitted for his or her uniform. Sneakers, pants, jackets, and the ever-popular busbies were tried on, adjusted, and assigned. After a week at band camp, some of the band members wanted to send messages back home that the normal postcard wouldn't handle.
Hi, Mama. Dig, the wallet is empty and the credit cards are at the limit, so you know, cash, all right?
My name is Daria, and I'd like to say hi to my mom in Los Angeles, California. And the weather here in New Jersey is wonderful, and I'm having a terrific time with Dr. Bartner and the All-American Liberty College Band.
Hi, my name is Marie, and I'm from Penn State, and I'd like to say hi to my mom and dad and Dave back home. The weather here is really nice.
Hey, Mom, just a little reminder, don't forget to tune in to Channel 6 on July 6th at 8 p.m. to see me.
We're having a great time out here in Wayne, New Jersey at William Patterson College with a Statue of Liberty All-American Marching Band. I'm happy to be one of the members of the finest marching band and hottest drumline here in America.
Hi, Mom, send money. I really need it. Hurry up. Hi, Mom. Hi, Clemson. Go Tigers.
Hi, Mom. I'm using up all the sunscreen. Got nice burn lines. Got to go practice dancing now.
Hi, Mom. How you doing?
Hi, Mom. What's happening?
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Brian. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mom. Having fun. Food's awful. Fight on.
I just want the whole world to know that this has been the most exciting experience this week. Everybody is over here putting in extra time on this dance step to number 1. And by the time they get through with this, it'll be their 1,000,000th time in getting through the whole thing. It's been a great experience.
Let me just say that this has been an experience of a lifetime.
On the evening of Thursday, June 26, the band performed their whole show for about 100 local band directors and college employees. Friday, June 27th, the Statue of Liberty All-American College Marching Band made the first of many sojourns to the Meadowlands Sports Complex, specifically Giant Stadium, where they would perform in the finale of Liberty Weekend. The night before, an unsung prop crew, mostly from Rutgers University, loaded all the instruments into 2 trucks in preparations for the trip. The band boarded 13 school buses, not the most comfortable or spacious modes of transportation. This inconvenience was taken in stride by most of the members of the band. The first glimpse of the Art Deco stage came in 85-degree heat and high humidity, but the band ran through its number, adapting to its performance environment. Jeff Ernstoff talks about some of the problems in moving the band around.
We were traveling in school buses, which of course weren't air-conditioned and were also very crowded. Once we came through heavy traffic to get to the Meadowlands, our box lunches had to be brought in through the same traffic. But I think the main thing was on the floor of the Meadowlands, which is artificial turf, the temperature was about 101 degrees. We used over $500 worth of sunscreen for the whole band, and yet through it all, in these very difficult conditions, the kids just came in and managed to completely blow everybody away.
The next morning, executive producer David Wolper helicoptered onto campus to view the band's progress firsthand.
When they see you on the night of the 6th, you're really going to freak them out with that. I mean, it's just fabulous. Yeah! I know just a few of you were with us at the Olympic Games, and the few that were here can tell you the great feeling you had, but this, as great as that was, I have a sneaking feeling that this one is a little better. Yeah! Anyway, thanks a million. I look forward to seeing you all on the 5th first and then the 6th.
Thank you for being here, David. David Wolper, let's hear it!
Saturday afternoon, the band boarded the buses again, this time to trek into New York City to the Coliseum. Here on the floor of one of the levels, an exact scale blueprint of the stage at Governor's Island had been laid out. Dr. Bartner ran through the Stars and Stripes routine with the band. Picking up the drill quickly, the band was allowed to roam the city, some for their first visit to the Big Apple. The Village, Chinatown, and the Hard Rock Cafe proved to be the favorite spots. Without incident and without loss, everyone made it back in time to get their altered uniforms and board the buses back to New Jersey. Sunday was a light work day. the main event being a picnic in front of the Student Center. When this many talented people get together, the creative juices are bound to overflow, producing these extraordinary impromptu performances.
Okay, clarinet.
Ready, camera, action!
Okay, ready? We are the clarinet section.
Clarinet section.
At 29 strong, we raise our consciousness above the pettiness of non-musical American band directors.
Non-musical American band directors.
We represent all 50 states of the United States. We represent all cultures in the world.
All cultures in the world.
We get no respect. 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 No respect.
Monday, June 30th, saw the band return to the Meadowlands for yet another rehearsal. But the next day, July 1st, began what Dr. Bartner had called the push. Days of performance and rehearsals that would mean 18 to 20 hours a day, separated by only a few hours of needed sleep. The band spent most of July 1st and 2nd on Governor's Island. July 1st was spent recording the John Williams Salute to Liberty fanfare. The 2nd found the band performing for an audience of 5,000 at the dress rehearsal of the opening ceremonies. Just before the rehearsal began, Jeff Ernstoff talked about the downpour that caught the band on the stage the night before.
We had literally been waiting all day to practice the Stars and Stripes on stage. Earlier on we had a jam session backstage with some of the French musicians, but then once we hit the stage, the heavens opened up and there was this incredible downpour. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. Dr. Bartner was soaked, all our staff were soaked, all the kids were soaked, but they kept playing until the piece was ended, and it was really an incredible moment to see them out there. They wouldn't stop, they wouldn't give up, and the whole band pulled together that night in a very special way.
The fanfare trumpets left the stage to join the rest of the band in preparing for the finale. The next evening, as millions watched, the band's performance highlighted a spectacular fireworks tribute to Lady Liberty.
These are fireworks, but not the fireworks that you've been hearing about. Those, the Big Bang is what you'll see tomorrow night. These fireworks put on by a French company manufacturing fireworks since the time of Napoleon. The French and the Americans together in their celebration.
In 1983, she had a broken nose, a cracked right eye, a split lip, stains on her gown. Now, more than anything else, she's got a brand new torch. She lights the way again.
You know, Peter, I look at this and I think that my father came here as an immigrant teenager with his family from England. My mother's parents came here as immigrants from Russia. And I think I speak for many Americans tonight when I say, thank God they did.
The next day, the band ventured to Liberty State Park, where the Americana concert would be staged that evening. Jeff Ernstoff describes the afternoon and evening and its special moments.
It was a very special day for the band in many ways, actually. The fanfare trumpets appeared with the Boston Pops in the Americana concert at Liberty State Park, where a lot of patriotic and special military groups were also performing. The kids had a wonderful time. They were able to have a picnic on the grass and enjoy the concert later that evening, which featured Whitney Houston, Johnny Cash, and the Boston Pops, among others. What they didn't know was that approval for their presence at Liberty State Park had only come through the night before, after some heavy lobbying by Dr. Bartner and myself. We were even able to bring lunch in there for them. After the concert itself, there was an incredible delay getting the buses out, and we were stranded at Liberty State Park for over 3 hours. But instead of complaining and having a rough time in their usual style, the kids banded together. They spontaneously joined in hands and sang for what seemed like a couple of hours or so. Dr. Bartner went out and through a crowd of something like 25,000 people, got the kids through the crowd to the buses, and then proceeded to get stranded himself as the buses took off. Luckily, or I guess maybe by karma or something, he found me pulling out in my car, and the two of us drove back first to the Meadowlands and then to William Patterson College, where we got in at, I would say, approximately 5 o'clock in the morning. So all in all, it was a day that started out to be restful, wound up costing us more sleep than we thought, but turned out pretty well for everyone involved.
In the harbor, Jay Wanamaker's drumline and 8 William Patterson timpanists performed his specially written drum cadence for Tommy Walker's enormous fireworks display.
Well, we said there was more to come, and there they are. We're about 2/3 of the way through now.
After some well-deserved rest Saturday morning, the band's dress rehearsal for the closing ceremonies of Liberty Weekend was performed on the night of July 5th before 12,000 people. The following night, 10 months of preparation were behind them. It was time for the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these young college musicians from around the country a rousing hand. The Statue of Liberty All-American Marching Band. From New Orleans up the river to Chicago, St. Louis, and from there to all parts of the world, they call it jazz.
A little later, the band came out again, this time to escort Shirley MacLaine out onto the field with a complex drill done to Hooray for Hollywood.
From the back lot at MGM to the film studios in beautiful downtown Burbank. From the sound stages of Warner Brothers to the scoring stages at Paramount. And from there to all parts of the world, and they call it Hollywood.
Jeff Ernstoff comments on the finale.
The finale included many of the participants in the show, the drill team, the orchestra, the choir, but it was the band that formed the final outline of the United States, which was, of course, appropriate because our members had, in fact, come from all over the country. So all in all, the folks at William Patterson College, Joe Tanis and his staff, the Meadowlands people, all the Liberty Weekend staff, our band directors, assistant band directors, TAs, and most important, of course, the kids themselves, had worked so hard for something that had really paid off in the experience that we had hoped would be cherished for a lifetime.
The band, triumphant from their performance at the Meadowlands, returned to William Patterson College and checked in their instruments. They showered and changed to attend a party given in their honor.
Please, for just a minute. It is now time for the band that has been through hell and back. And back again. To pay tribute to some of the key personnel responsible for whatever it is that you want to call this. So without further ado, I would simply like to introduce someone who many of you met for the first time, either on the 18th or the 20th, who has really led this ensemble through an awful lot of stuff with tremendous enthusiasm, tremendous expertise, tremendous charisma, tremendous leadership, a sense of humor, and everything else. So here he is, Dr. Bartner.
Good evening. Good morning, yeah. Very proud of you guys and gals tonight. You know, we kid around with the phrase that this was going to be the best marching band in the history of the universe, but I have never seen a better show than you put on tonight. And then when one of your compatriots came up and said, we worked 17 long, hard, miserable days for 10 minutes. And you know what my answer was to him? There were millions and millions and millions of people saw those 10 minutes. There's gonna be little dance routines all over the country. There's gonna be West Side Story all over this country. There's going to be red capes all over this country. And the drum and bugle corps are going to eat their heart out. We showed them how to do their show. Anyway, you guys were terrific, and my congratulations to each and every one of you. Now, the reason that I am here this evening is really to pay tribute to the people who I think really made this possible. And I think you will agree with me that, the size of this ensemble and all the things that we tried to do would not happen, and we would not be nearly as successful without a super staff. So right now I would like to bring up some of these people and present them with a little token of our appreciation. First of all, from the percussion section, a gentleman that I brought in to be in charge of the cymbals, but ended up doing a terrific job working with the bass drums, from Potsdam, George Barrett. George, would you come up? Come on, George, run. Where's George? Oh, here he comes. Hey, give him a hand right here. Thank you. Run up. Thank you. Next, this gentleman worked very closely with the fanfare trumpets. And by the way, did you hear these guys play it live? Did they play it live tonight? Interesting story. We went in with two of the trumpet players, I would say less than a half an hour before showtime, and they got this machine, and you can bend that pitch as low as you want it. You push another button, it goes up, and with less than a half an hour before showtime, we fixed the pitch, and then the trumpets played, and it was wonderful. Anyway, Owen Kirshner worked very closely with the trumpets. Owen, come on up. Owen. Maybe if we could get all the TAs to move forward, please. TAs, would you go up and go against the left wall so we don't make this a marathon? Okay, now I'd like to run down our 12 TAs, and first of all, starting with the much maligned Piccolos section, who, no, wait a minute. They came through when it counted right in front of the president. They didn't let us down, they played all the right notes. Anyway, their section leader, Tammy Schultz. Would Tammy come up, please? Next, the best T-shirt of any section in the band. If not the loudest section, but definitely the section with the most spirit. The clarinet section. Barry Spanier is their section leader. Next, another great T-shirt, something to do with good sax with Dr. Art, something like that. Anyway, very hard-working section and fun to have in the band. The alto saxophone section in there, section leader, Jeff Hinton. Okay. Yeah, this next guy,
he went into that molasses mode. But he trucked through, and I will tell you, he was sent from heaven. I was looking around for someone who could help and do all those things that were needed, and Dr. Bartner, in his inimitable style, said, "I got the guy! It's Woody Kane!" So Woody, come on up here and accept this little tribute. Thank you. And finally, from my staff, there was someone who came on months ago who I explained the thing to. He was a friend, he was a professional musician, a very bright guy, and I said, now, you know, it's like a 9 to 5 thing, but then we're going to move out to this band camp and the hours will be somewhat longer. And, you know, over a period of time, he just got sucked up into it. He learned all your names. He learned who didn't fill out the postcards right, which was all your names, and really was invaluable on so many levels, and I owe a tremendous debt of gratitude, so please bring up Robin Polsino. Okay, so where do we go from here? Well, the first thing to do is, of course, to party some more. But I want to make a couple of announcements and then a remark or two. First of all, don't forget to catch your bus tomorrow, because I got to tell you, tomorrow night, I don't want to see anybody. Okay? Catch your bus. The schedule is posted there. You've all seen the posters that are lined up here. Please take one and only one. I'm going to tell you now, besides keeping your uniform, you will receive in the mail a copy of the program. And you will receive a certificate, a very, very nicely laid out certificate that has a space where your name can be inserted on the top. There are two things down here that I would like you all to sign. Just put your names on them. We'd appreciate them. One will go to myself and one will go to, I'm blanking and I don't know why. To Bud. I'm sorry, to Bud from Yamaha, who is doing better. So, other than that, just let me say that assistant directors, I promise you the air conditioning will be working day after tomorrow. And you can all have cars. For those of you that I yelled at, I'm sorry. For those of you who I encouraged, I'm glad. For those of you who I tried to sleep with, tomorrow's another day. But the point is, you know, I want you to know that, you know, occasionally in the things that I've done, you know, I've brushed up against some, you know, pretty...
They've all gone back home, back to jobs and schools. But if you listen very closely, you may still hear the Statue of Liberty All-American Marching Band playing out on White Field.